and burn.
Hey everybody. So tonight I am going to be discussing the Misfits' never released original, I believe, 1980 album, and that would have been 12 Hits from Hell. The reason I'm doing this is 7 or 8 hours ago I got a comment from Jody138. It should be up on the screen now, God willing. And I'm also hoping that I'm actually looking at the lens, because I can't see anything. I'm just being blinded by the light that is right here, and it's like deer in the headlights. So I hope I'm looking at everything, and I hope the comment is up on the screen. Jody suggested, or asked, sorry, if I could do this, and this record, it's a great idea. I should have already talked about this record just because of the anticipation everybody felt back in like the late 90s after Caroline released Static Age. But yeah, so this record, if memory serves, this is the Master Sound record. I think the Master Sound Productions back in late 1980. It was like July to September 1980. The Misfits, at that point, this was the Bobby Steele, Arthur Googie days. And two, if I'm remembering things correctly, at this point, Doyle wanted into the band. And of course, Doyle is Only's brother. And it looks like it was going to happen because, again, if I'm remembering things correctly, I think Doyle recorded alternate guitars, like his guitars, as at the same time that Steele was recording his guitars for this record. And I know that Bobby Steele would be ejected from the band pretty much right after the recording sessions, and Doyle would be welcomed in, and then this record would just be canned. That would be the end of it. So the record was recorded and almost ready to go in late 1980, only to have the guitars sort of redone by their now new guitar player, Doyle. Then the record just died. That's the timeline of this record, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I know, too, that this record became an EP by 3 Hits of Hell, which had London Dungeon on it, Horror Hotel, and I think it was Ghouls Night Out. Made the 3 with the alternate version of London Dungeon appearing on the 3 Hits from Hell, I think. This is going back, unfortunately, and given my advanced age, I apologize if I'm getting any of this wrong. But I think this record became 3 Hits from Hell, and then that was that. Then, like I said at the start of the video, I heard back, like right after I got into the Misfits, which was like grade 7 or grade 8, that their first record, Static Age, was going to be released. And I remember all my friends were like, no, dude, their first record's Walk Among Us. It's already out. And I was like, no. I read in either Hit Parade or Circus, or there was either Hit Parade or Circus. I was going to say Kerrang, but getting a copy of Kerrang back in those days was this like coming to God moment, coming to Jesus moment, where you're like, oh my God, I have an issue of Kerrang, because it was almost impossible to find. At least it was almost impossible to find for me, whereas Hit Parader and Circus was everywhere. So I most likely read it in Hit Parader or Circus that this record called Static Age was going to be released at some point soon. Now, of course, I'm reading this in grade 7, which was approximately 92, 93, give or take. And of course, for anybody that doesn't know, Static Age was released by Caroline in 1996. And as the years rolled on, we heard 96 rolls around, I'm in grade 10, grade 11, and it was apparently carved in stone. Caroline is doing it. This is it. And there's even going to be an extra song on there called In the Doorway. That was the only song by the Misfits that hadn't been released. And it was like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll believe that when I see it. And then it was like, it's out. Dude, it's up at Music World. You can go buy it now. So I did. And Static Age was absolutely amazing. And then we heard that 12 Hits from Hell were happening. Like pretty much the same day. I buy Static Age. My friends are like, yo, 12 Hits from Hell, that record from way back. It's happening. 96 became 97, 97 became 98, the years ticked by, and then in 2001, it was all but guaranteed that 12 Hits from Hell was finally going to see the light of day. And then, boom, Only and Danzig weren't happy with the production. They weren't happy with the artwork, the inlay, the liner notes. Everything about this release just was rubbing both of them the wrong way, and that was that. The record was eternally shelved. And here it is, 2025. And personally, I think they should still release the record, despite the fact that the handful of songs, like I said, the 3 tracks that ended up on 3 Hits from Hell, and then the rest were sort of scattered throughout collections 1 and 2, as well as Walk Among Us. I still think they should put it out because I know it's almost it's more of a figurehead release at this point. It would be just for Misfits fans, like who are diehards who would want to just sort of do the completist thing. I'm not even sure now in this day and age if I'd buy that record if it was ever to be released, because the songs on there, I've heard them to death so many times. And I mean, the only way that maybe it would make it worthwhile is if they were able to dig up new versions, like new alternate takes on those songs that maybe for whatever reason still haven't seen the light of day. But at this point, I'm starting to think that Danzig has released everything that he's willing to release. I know a few songs will pop up illegally on the internet from YouTube from time to time, but I don't know. I think it's exciting if they were to release it. They still should. But like I said, I'm not even sure if I could get on board for buying this, especially given the ridiculous vinyl prices that they would no doubt be charging. Oh, it's on 200 gram and it's fucking indestructible. A nuclear war could hit and this record's going to... I don't care. Every record should be printed on 120 gram, the same shit that we all grew up with in the 80s and a tiny bit of the 90s. Like, I still have all my Duran Duran records from way back, and they're all 120 grams, and they play amazingly. They sound wicked. You know what I mean? Like vinyl sounds amazing, and those standard 120 gram Duran Duran / like Tiffany and Debbie Gibson records that I bought way back, they sound amazing. So having to press everything on 200 gram or 180 gram is just a cash grab, a fucking soulless cash grab. And you know that's exactly what they do with this. They're like, oh, it's 180 gram. You could survive a fucking EMP attack. Blah. You know, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Well, of course it's going to survive an EMP attack. EMPs aren't going to do shit to vinyl. I mean, they don't give a fuck. EMP don't care about wax. Why did I say that? I said that because I'm retarded. But anyways, yeah, this record, it's a cool idea. I've been meaning to talk about it. I'm really glad that Jody threw that ask up, because finally I'm getting around to it now. I mean, I kind of don't see the point anymore. I think it would be cool in one sense, but my God, the songs on here have been played to death. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they should release it? Part of me does, part of me doesn't, because mainly they're just going to do that vinyl reissue, overprice it to the max. And, oh, look, there's new liner notes written by... insert bass player from other punk rock band that everybody knows. They got somebody from the Circle Jerks. They got Klaus and the Dead Kennedys to write the liner notes or something. Great. I don't care. So, I don't know. This record seemed cool. It probably would have been amazing in 1980, but I think Walk Among Us and then Static Age does a really good job of serving up early Misfits stuff for everybody. Maybe I'm alone on that. Maybe a lot of people want this out, but I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, that is it. So Jody, thank you so much for posting that, asking me to do this. I'm glad, because here it is. It's done. Like always, you guys are amazing. And I'm getting out of here because I'm starting to get kind of hot, because the light is literally right in my face. You guys kick ass. Have a good night.